Back to the football. Dan Orlovsky, Giants, Seahawks. Upset of the year. What a performance from the New York football Giants playing without Daniel Jones. Here's Colt McCoy in. They're down 5-0, that's right. And here's Wayne Gallman, Dan, for 60 yards.
Yeah, they get that big G game, lead blockers out in front, and Gallman down that sideline, a huge chunk in the run game for the Giants.
2 plays later, Alfred Morris. Who? That's right, Alfred Morris. Giants go for 2 and get it. They're leading 8-5. Seattle looking for answers. Going for it on 4th and 1 at midfield. Look at the defensive effort, Dan.
Greeny, this is trusting your defense. Everybody on the defense, trust that guy is going to do his job. Great pressure on Russell, staying back in coverage. Outstanding stop by that defense. And then I love this little roll pass play call. Colt McCoy flash fake, get it out in front, touchdown Giants.
Giants go up 14-5. They would add a field goal, so it's 17-5. 4th quarter, Russell Wilson trying to make something happen, and he'll find Chris Carson, who had, for the most part, Rex, a tough day.
Yeah, he did. He had like 2 drops, and now he's going to end up catching the toughest ball thrown to him for a touchdown. But a great pass by Russell Wilson.
So it's 17-12. Seahawks now need a touchdown to win on a 3rd down. How about Leonard Williams, Rex?
Yeah, I wish the Jets had players like that. He really is playing like the best player in the draft when he came out.
And so here's your final chance for the Seahawks, 4th and 18. Stunningly, the Giants don't go zero blitz. Wilson throws up a prayer.
Yeah, they tried to win the game, Greedy. That's just what it looks like to me.
And they do. And they remain in first place in the NFC East with a stunning 17-12 win. Extraordinarily impressive. This is a team that was 0-5. They were 1-7. And here they come. Ryan Clark, what is the first thing we say about the Giants and their coach, Joe Judge, today?
Man, ain't Joe Judge everything the Detroit Lions thought Matt Patricia was going to be? The thing that the Detroit Lions were waiting and allowing Matt Patricia time to become. Joe Judge has become that in the first season for the New York Giants. The New York Giants are the best team in the NFC East for one reason. They're the only team with an extremely consistent trait. And that consistent trait is the most important trait anyone in the NFC East has. They absolutely compete all out 100% every single snap, every single game. They are physical. They fly to the ball on offense. They understand what they are now, and they do that. I love the way that this team has now found an identity. It's not about necessarily if we will win every game. It's about how we will come out, compete, and play every game, and Joe Judge has that entire team on the same page.
That's right. And, Dan, it starts up front on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they bullied the Seattle Seahawks yesterday. But I think the best way to describe Joe Judge is, anyone can see adversity. It takes a strong person to see an opportunity. Greeny, you mentioned this team was 1-7. How did he not lose this locker room? Not only not lose it, but really galvanize it. And they have decided and started to play bully football on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Now think about it. Football, for all the X's and O's that we love, and I love them more than anybody, is about the line of scrimmage. And you talk about a team that no one's going to want to play here in the last month of this season and probably leading into the playoffs because they're going to win this division. And now you're talking about a football team that as long as the quarterback doesn't give the ball away, you got to get punched in the mouth for 70 snaps. They're going to be physical. They believe in their coach. Their coach has instilled belief in their players, and their locker room thinks we are a good football team. It's not the we're the best team in the bad division thought process. They think we are a good football team, and because of our physicality, we can beat anyone that we're going to play.
Their last 7 games, they're 5-2. Their 2 losses were by a combined 3 points. And Rex, you said it here about 3 weeks ago that Joe Judge had sort of opened your eyes with an approach that he took with this team, and it really seems to be making a difference.
Yeah, and to Ryan's point about he showed effort, and he showed that, hey, look, that became his team. And the guys, they had to be like, that's for the first time, this guy was all about positive. And about how, now we're that team that I had that vision for. And that's how his team's playing. Ever since that moment, this team has taken off. And when I look at it, this defense is legit. And we talk about Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams, when he came out in the draft, I thought was the best player in the draft. All right? Never played that way for the Jets. Well, he's playing like that way now. And so to me, this team... And look, I believe in Daniel Jones. Another thing I was right on when I said he was the best quarterback in New York. He's still the best quarterback in New York. When they get him playing like that. This team just won against the Seattle Seahawks with Colt McCoy at quarterback.
Right.
who can't play dead in a B Western, and yet they won the game. So to me, I love the way this football team is.
Look, RC, we'll see what Washington does today against Pittsburgh in an unusual 5 o'clock on a Monday afternoon game. But right now, the Giants not only look like a...
Two ways for tonight's action. We'll get to the Niners in Glendale in a minute. The first game has the undefeated Steelers, who had to play on Wednesday last week, taking on the Washington football team in a 5 p.m. Eastern start. Jeremy Fowler getting us ready for that one.
Washington football coach Ron Rivera told me he doesn't mind at all spoiling the Steelers' undefeated party Monday night, but he knows that process starts and stops with Big Ben Roethlisberger. Rivera told me that when Roethlisberger gets that no-huddle offense, 5 wide receiver set going, he can dictate the pace of the game early and never let it go. That's his priority, is stopping that. But on the Steelers side, that locker room is reeling right now after the loss of pass rusher Bud Dupree to a torn ACL. I spoke to one veteran Steeler who said he's one of the most well-liked guys in our locker room, a true leader, and that the defense now knows TJ Watt is going to get even more attention from offenses on his side of the pass rush. But that teammate added, Watts answered every bell in his NFL career in a huge way.
According to ESPN's Football Power Index, the Steelers have a 74% chance of beating Washington today. Pittsburgh has no worse than a 60% chance of winning its remaining games. The quest to join the 2007 Patriots as the only 16-0 teams is now 5 wins away.
David, the second game tonight has the Bills taking on the Niners on ESPN. San Francisco is coming off an emotional victory over the Rams, and it's fair to wonder if the late season move to the desert will have an effect on the Niners in a game they've got to win to stay in the NFC wildcard race. With more, our Monday night crew, here's Steve Levy.
Every NFL team has been negatively impacted by the coronavirus and injuries this season, but no team more so than the San Francisco 49ers. They've started 48 different players so far this season and were asked to leave their hometown, so they have come to a temporary home here in Arizona to play their next 2 home games. One of which tonight against the Buffalo Bills. Last time they won a division title, 1995. Josh Allen wasn't even born. Allen has put the Bills in position to take the AFC East. Grease?
Yeah, Steve, Josh Allen in his 3rd year for the Buffalo Bills is playing his best football. Continuity at the offensive coordinator position with Brian Daboll and the addition of Stephon Diggs has really helped his efficiency. He's throwing the ball more accurately. Give him credit. In the offseason, worked on his mechanics, became a more accurate passer, and now the 2 areas where quarterbacks are judged in the National Football League, he is excelling. 3rd downs and red zone. They're a top 5 3rd down team. And in the red zone, he's scored 23 times using his legs. And in his career, he has not thrown an interception in the red zone. He's going to need to continue to be that efficient to beat the 49ers tonight.
The 2020 version of the 49ers defense may not be as strong as the 2019 version, but it is still very good. This is a football team that right now is top 10 in yards per play allowed, top 10 in number of first downs allowed per game, and a top 10 defense on 3rd down. Look, it is headlined by some very good players. Eric Armstead at defensive tackle, defensive end. Fred Warner, the middle linebacker, who's one of the very best in the NFL. And they got back Richard Sherman, one of the best cornerbacks over the past 10 years in the NFL. He's back. He's leading this secondary right now in terms of giving them the knowledge that they need to go up against some of the better pass offenses in the NFL. They're going to face one of the hottest quarterbacks in the NFL in Josh Allen, and Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator, is a head coaching candidate still in the NFL for the 2021 hiring cycle. So expect this defense to play one of its very best games of the year. A lot